Listen to Sticky Bunny Weird on all platforms. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're not new, welcome back. I am lumberjacking right now and it feels very appropriate because I am talking about boarding school again. That's what I'm talking about, boarding school. But before I get into it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, like the video, comment down your thoughts as we go along. Music everywhere, Sticky Bunny Weird, that's me. That I said in the beginning to listen to, that's me. Today, as I said, we're talking about boarding school. Oh, my nose is itchy. If you've read the title, I'm talking about the few times or the one time I had to escape from boarding school. Straight up escape, like prison break type shit. I wish I was fucking exaggerating, but I'm not. It feels cathartic and it's like free therapy. Say out, hear how insane it is, comprehend it. Bitch, that happened. Let's get into it. Watch the video about my boarding school experience. It'll give you a little bit of a backstory of how I attended boarding school in Uganda when I was a kid, about 9 years old to up to 12 to 13 years old. And that's literally was my whole world for a while. So when you're in boarding school, you get given like loot. You get given a suitcase with your bread, your needle, your milk, your money, your extra clothes, pretty much most things people think you could need or your parents think you need or what you think you need. It gets put in that suitcase. However, because you're a little fucking child, you just don't understand how to delegate things. You don't understand how much sugar you should be using. You don't understand how much needle you should be using. You don't understand how many quantities of anything you should be using. And in fact, that's why our boarding school headmistress and the whole system, the way it was set up is certain things like, I'll call it, it's called quencher in Uganda, but in the UK it would be called like squash. We'll have like big 5-liter bottles of squash, and your parents had to buy one of those and it would go to the school basically. So when you come into school, that gets collected by the teachers and it gets put in the big giant storage along with some soap, along with some needle, with some other few things in case you like run out. They're not gonna let you go to class without bathing, so they make it that we all share. You give in your 5 geisha soaps and then every day they'll cut it and they'll give you a little stab of it, which is supposed to last you like a week. And then when that finishes, you go to the metron and then they give you another stab. So that was the system. However, if they gave you that stab of soap and it did not last you a week, it lasted you like 1 day and then somebody stole it, you cannot go to the metron and tell them, hi, I lost it, please give me more. They just would not fucking do that. So you had to kind of like improvise and find something to do. If you had money, you'd buy from other students. If you had like something worthwhile you can exchange from somebody else, you could do that. If you had nothing and you were genuinely at your last and you didn't have anything, what I usually did, some kids did this as well. The first way I did it that was proper, that I would say, is I was a religious prefect. I've explained that in a video as well, you should watch it. I was a religious prefect, and because I was a religious prefect, during Fridays and Sundays we would go out and take all the religious kids to pray. So on Friday it would be me, the religious prefect, with a few other prefects. We'll go out to the mosque during lunchtime and we were supposed to come back at around 3 o'clock or so. So we had a few hours in between. What I would do instead is we'll take the kids to the mosque as everybody's scattered around, you know, doing their Muslim little rituals before you go into the mosque. I would instead get a quick motorbike to my mom's house and just be like, hey mate, I have nothing. Can I have food? Can I have this thing? So, and she would replenish some of my things as much as she could. And the reason I'll go to my mom's house is because it was very close. Basically, it would be like 45 minutes on a border if you know. And that's relatively, if you had about 2 hours or so, you take 45 minutes on a border, you get what you need real quick, 45 minutes back. So you'd be slightly late for school, but it would be negligible and you'd have all the shit you want. So that's the one way I would do to escape from school. The other way would do it, not on Fridays, will be on Sundays. Same exact thing, but on Sundays you have more time because the Sunday prayer thing would start at like 9 and then it would end at like 1 o'clock. It took 4 fucking hours. Take a border, go home, get how many things you need, and then come back when it's the right time. People would not notice because everybody would be in their own world. They're all excited about being outside. So nobody's kind of looking of who is around and who is not around. And I was a prefect, so people were not trying to be in my space like that. So I did it bare often as much as I could whenever I ran out of things. Come back with a few bits of shillings and a few other things to replenish me, and it helped me survive because you had to escape sometimes. They would let you starve. They'll give you porridge with no sugar. How are you gonna eat porridge with no sugar? I am not like that. I'm not built like that. They will literally actually leave you with nothing to eat if you didn't have snacks. You only eat the porridge in the morning. If you didn't have a samosa, because you can't afford it, no samosas, no cereal, no nothing, just a cup of porridge, and then lunch, a small plate of food, and then supper, 3 meals a day, no snacks. What child can survive without snacks? Hence the reason. So I did it better times. So this other way I used to do it was like before I became a prefect. I became a prefect like at the end of my school years when I was 12, but beforehand when I was about 10 or so. The way I used to escape is our school had like this field and it was covered in barbed wire all around it. And it was literally like prickly barbed wire. It wasn't electric, but it was prickly and you can't just touch it. But what we used to do is a few of my friends would say, okay, I'm going to go escape and I'll come back to the next day. So you do it, for example, on Friday and then you come back Saturday. And Friday will be the right day because it's like Chaos Friday. It was our sports day. They'll confuse you in with the day kids. It was just easier to do it on Friday. You come back Saturday because Saturday you'll be dressed in your normal casual clothes and you'll be blending in with the day kids as well. The only thing you had to do is when they were calling out your name at night, you just had to tell your friends to say yes please for you, for the matron to act like you were there. So you had to kind of pre-tell your friends. We'll go to the field and then your friends will lift up the barbed wire like that a little bit and then you legit slide underneath like prison break shit. Thin out your body as much as possible because you don't want to get scratches from the barbed wire. Because you rather get scratches from the little bit of grit and dirt than the barbed wire. It would hurt if it happens sometimes. I did that like 3 or 4 times. I'll come back with Luke and we'll share. Escaping from prison and then coming back to the prison. When I was a kid, sometimes when I was in boarding school, I'll look and sit down and I'll be like, this is like prison. What's the difference? What's the actual difference? We were wearing uniforms, we'd wear a red and blue, red dress or blue dress. That's the only colors we were allowed to wear. Apart from Saturdays, you can wear like casual clothes, like I said. But yeah, we had to escape boarding school in order to survive because they'll let you starve. And also, if you had the opportunity, you do it because you come back with more cash, which is more social currency to buy little other things you needed. If you had an opportunity to go home, you fucking go home. You have an opportunity to escape, you escape. Not a lot of people got to do it though, because I somehow got away with it at every time. I think it happened like 6 times or so, probably more, I don't even recall. It happened like a lot of times and every single time I didn't get caught. Also, the reason I was doing it a lot, I never got visited. Watch my recent video about the privilege, I talked about all that. I never got visited, so it was more requirement to escape and go get shit. I never got caught, and the matron for some reason the next day I would come and I would think they can tell, they've seen through me, but everybody would be like, shh. Just like, okay, I guess nobody's saying nothing. Sure, that's what happened and that was that. And that's how I survived boarding school. So guys, if this has happened to you and you've had to escape from boarding school to get your supplies, please let me know down below, because it cannot only be the kids from my school that did that. And like the video if you have, share it with your nans and your friends that you went to boarding school with and everybody that you like. Stream my music, I really appreciate that. It'll help me glow. Did you want me to glow? I want me to glow. That'll be great. The links are down below for everything, like all the good shit you would need to know about Sticky Bunny. Oh! I would play my music for you, but I have not paid my Spotify bill again. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it on YouTube if you don't have Spotify or Apple Music. Sticky Bunny did that. Sticky Bunny is right here. Sticky coming my eyes. That is short. How is that a short story time? Oh my god, guys, one thing I forgot to say is, I think I did say that. I did say it, in fact, I did say it. I would take a border and I would reach home and I told my mom to pay for the border. And the border people here are very generous, so they'll do that. And another thing sometimes I would do is I walk all the way to my mom's house. It would feel like 3 hours and I still don't know how long it took me to walk that 45-minute by border distance, but it took me a really long time to get there, and I would do Arizona. And I'm so glad I didn't get kidnapped, because I would have got kidnapped very easily. That was so long and I was so absent-minded walking. But I knew the way. Someone who doesn't know direction, which is me. I knew the way every time. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I just thought I would like put that in at the end because you'd be like, how did she get all the way for family distance as little kid? Because in Uganda here, you just say, hey brother, take me, and they take you. They'll take 3 little kids anywhere with no cash. I think you go there, get home and negotiate because this is Uganda. I think that's it, guys. I love you. Thank you for the support in the comments. I really appreciate it. Suck dick, eat pussy, and everything in between.